Hello everyone, this is my first Touhou voicing video. I am very excited and I look forward to improve my future Touhou videos too. Today we're playing Sakuya Easy in Touhou 18. I don't quite like the Sakuya because the shot is not homing, it's kind of annoying. And did you notice that his shot angles are changing depending on which arrow you catch? It's kind of annoying. The best Sakuya is in Touhou 14 Sakuya A. This part is mostly even shots. Oh, I don't have enough money! Oh, I was shocked. That almost never happens with Martha. The movement angles is just driving me nuts. Like, isn't this so annoying? I don't even understand how can anybody have a good time like using this kind of Sakuya. They gotta bring back Sakuya A from Touhou 14. Wow, I have so many spell cards. It's full. This is the worst spell card of the stage in my opinion because I keep getting thrown off over it before, but I think I'm slowly getting it. I think the trick is to just like stay at the bottom because the gaps are wider when it gets closer to the bottom. This one is alright. Just try to stay at the bottom and dodge each part one by one. Don't look at everything at once. The angles are cool as they have to cover a wide space. Can you actually dodge this without moving? I am very curious. But it looks like this is an even shot, so you can do so with minimal movement. And I think that's it. I noticed if you press the down arrow, then the shots will become more focused. Yeah, to proceed my bomb here, I'm not quite sure what Sakuya's bomb is doing. Is it just like freezing everything in place and then deleting all the bullets? I feel like it's kind of nerfed since Touhou 14, or maybe it's just me. Okay, so this kind of shot actually works well with like large areas of enemies, but each enemy is not extremely tough. But if you want to like focus on one boss enemy, then this type of shot is absolutely terrible, like we've just seen. So I guess it depends on what is the struggles and what kind of like shots would help you the most. This part really doesn't work well with Sakuya. I really miss the rainy homing here. Especially when you gotta go around the enemies and then you have nothing hitting the bottom, so they will just keep piling up at the bottom. It's kind of driving me nuts. And I couldn't even tell off a single one of the butterflies. OMG. This part is alright for now. another bomb here, but I don't have any bombs left. This really sucks. Honestly, I don't like the spell card, but the trick is also to go through one row or column at a time, so you don't get overwhelmed in two directions. And I think that's it for the trick. For some reason, I couldn't get Sakuya's knives to face the other way where the monsters are coming from. And it's just very hard to control this character. So I think you just gotta keep moving the arrows left and right so that it will move in all directions. My spirits are alright with Sakuya's large range, but the butterflies are very annoying because even when you try to focus shot, it's still not that focused compared to Marisa's focus, so you still don't end up killing the butterflies. Well, it got rid of one of them, which is something, but I think you can do more than one with Marisa. And this is just very frustrating as a player in my opinion. Unless you really got used to Sakuya's control, it's just not a good character from a player's perspective. Just quite a bit for plan B for Sakuya. the streaming works quite well here. So as the stars go down, you just move very slowly in one direction and try to avoid getting hit. I do end up getting hit here, which I should have bombed, but I'm not very good at death bombing, as you can tell. I feel like the lasers are just pure RNG. You just gotta hope you're lucky enough to move into a space, not into another laser, which will just show up randomly, and you can't really tell if you're going to get hit until you actually got hit. Nice, I actually captured the spell card. That card is quite terrible too. I'm not really sure if streaming works or if I'm even streaming here, but I'm actually impressed I didn't get hit so far. It definitely feels longer with Sakuya than other characters. Now the final spell tower is kind of similar to the previous laser one, except now they added more stars. Which is just more annoying, but it's still doable. I feel like the gaps are bigger in this one than the previous one, so that's something good. Working with Sakuya. I really should bomb here. I feel like this spell card is the same with any character because you can't hit anything anyway. trick of this spell card is to go up slowly and then go down quickly as soon as the spell card is going upwards. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but you want to stay as low as possible so you will have more room to go upwards. So when the boss shows up, you want to move to the center and make sure your shots are focused on hitting her and try to finish her off soon, because it's very hard to stay in the center without moving. So you can see my struggle, how I'm trying to stay in the center, right? This spell card really looks like Ultimus, which I really like. It gives me good memories. I never really understand how to gesture to spell card with their bombing. So yeah, let's just bomb through here. That's probably the best way out if you don't want to risk losing your life. Which we don't really have too many in this game somehow. It's only like 7, which is so few. This one is quite easy, but it's like very easy to think it's easy and then you end up getting hit. Stocking up lives and spell cards, I had more than enough to get through the final spell card. And thank you to everyone who has been watching up until this point. It's a very long video, I know. But I don't want to cut off any parts or speed up any parts from Touhou because I just love Touhou so much. And like the spell cards are pretty short in between each other, so I don't want you guys to miss out any parts. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.